pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day and thank you for this opportunity to gather and consider the business of the city of Loretto. Father God, we just ask you to bless every family that's represented here. In Jesus' name, amen.
Great to see this good crowd tonight. Minutes of the previous meeting were previously sent out. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay. Chair.
Mayor Turner?
Aye.
Alderman McMaster?
Aye.
Alderman Busby?
Aye.
Okay, Alderman McMaster, do you have anything?
I don't have anything to bring up tonight, no, sir.
Alderman Busby?
I do not.
Okay, go to department heads. Steve, what's the status on the sewer line there?
Manholes are ready for delivery. We'll have to have something, work out somebody to unload them for us. Our backhoe will pick them up.
See, just sometime over the next couple
I
of
guess I
months.
get Brandon or something to set them off or something.
Have we talked about the Rigdon Road, about fixing the Spring Street intersection?
I don't know that they weren't paving today to that area. They were top coating today according to one of the drivers that come in the store.
No, he did top coat it today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe was supposed to contact
Okay.
me.
So,
I think they've done it.
so they got that area done?
He did you just wanted the intersection, right?
Yes.
Okay. He stopped early, then he called me and he said, we're supposed to do the intersection, and I said, yeah, that's the rough spot, so he backed up and pulled across it and supposed to took care of it.
Mitch?
Busy.
How's full?
Got 52 at water aerobics right now. So
How's the morning class going?
I had 19 this morning.
So it's growing too, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's great. Okay, Barry?
Only thing, at some point, this is just, I'd like for us to look at the pros and cons of maybe incorporating in a burn permit. Because, we had a lot of calls on that brush pile that was over. I know it was out of the city, but it involved us. And I don't know, and like I said, I'm just wanting to see the pros and cons if we were to think about something like that, if we could, That's all right.
Which brush pile was
It was over there on the farmland at
Dixon
Stoltz's,
Brand?
yeah. The neighbors across the street, I understand their scenario perfectly well. The wind was blowing, it was blowing right in their door. I mean, and it had been on fire for several days. And I contacted forestry, they said as long as it had never went out, the burn permit was still active. So, but you'd have thought they'd have maintained it and pushed it up a little bit better, you know what I mean? So, but I mean, just thinking more for in the city in the future. I know we don't have one right now.
Well, we fall under the state burn ordinance.
Yeah, that's kind of how.
You have to follow the state.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, and then, I guess kind of to keep up with where they might be and when they're going on, where you just ain't kind of surprised by them sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was some discussion come up, I don't know, a couple weeks ago on social media about what is required for burning inside the city. And there was a bunch of people who thought there wasn't any requirements, but there are requirements. I mean, you gotta follow the state requirements. We can be more stringent, but
But we can go one step further.
yeah, we can go further with it, but we at least gotta follow the state guidelines.
So, and that's what I'm saying, I don't know if it's something that we might think
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably look to see what other
about.
other municipalities, not reinvent the wheel, but yes. You have anything else?
It's a good idea.
Bobby Joe?
Don't have nothing this time unless y'all have something.
How's the security on the police department as far as the doors and stuff?
I made some phone calls on changing that locking mechanism. The one that I was interested in, it's gonna run about probably $2,000. And then the other one that's simpler, just a more advanced keypad than what we've had on the door going to the bay, it'll probably run $700-800 somewhere in that neighborhood. and then I have a local person that can work on it. The other keypad, if anything goes wrong with it, I have to have somebody come out of Memphis. So I probably end up going that route, because that's local.
I got something Preston has there with. Okay, we'll move on to the comments from the citizens. I think we got the downtown group here, yes, yeah, all the group that was put together for doing the Tennessee Main Street, or the Tennessee downtown, actually. So, I'll let y'all go now if you'd like.
You want us to tell you now what we're thinking,
Yes.
or you do?
Yes.
Are you sure? Okay. I had just talked to Keith and thought maybe we could do this later with just you guys, but I mean,
No,
I'm
it's good now.
okay. All right. Well, for those of you who don't know, I'm Nancy Fleming. This is Cindy Ellis, Vicki Boshears, and Malcolm Walters. And we're working on the Tennessee Downtown Grant, which is like the Main Street that Lawrenceburg has, but for more rural areas, I guess, like we are. And we've got our paperwork underway. We've divided the sections. Malcolm's done all the photography that we have to do. And we're going to try to, whip all this out this summer so that we can get some people to read it for us and, be sure that we've covered all the bases and we've done what we needed to do. And, we have to identify something that we want to use the $15,000 grant money for, that the city will match with another $15,000. So there's $30,000. So since we all have kind of vested interest here, I've got Nana's, Vicky's thinking of opening a business. She's got the barber shop there. Cindy's got apartments. Malcolm's got the blacksmith shop and half of the town over there in rental houses. And so, that block area there is, where we want to pick something to try to think about and improve. Okay. What we're thinking about right now is we'd like to know the status, or if we can use that old part where City Hall was and where the fire truck parked. Can we say that that is our area that we are going to pick to restore for a number of different reasons? I'm going to let these guys jump in and tell you ideas too, but we're thinking of some kind of a venue place. Maybe we want to gut it and have a big place where we can have parties and rent it out for weddings or receptions, put a kitchen in it. Maybe we want to put the farmer's market in there and let people bring flea market stuff, birdhouses, homemade jam, whatever they want every Saturday morning. Maybe we want to rent it out and have artists, and, have loft space, not loft space, but, studio space in there and have some classes. I mean, we're just thinking about that building has got a lot of possibilities, and then we would have another piece of Loretto that we can save. I mean, we're looking around here and there's not much left that's going to be standing. The Mustang is in pretty bad shape since it burned, and I guess that really hit me hard. And to think about, we're going to lose another building here. So that's kind of where we are now. So we were wondering about, is this something that is that the city would go along with? Is that something that you would consider viable enough? I mean, we've got lots of other, we're just trying to find, what are we going to spend this money on? Should we get this? So that's kind of where we are. Cindy?
I think the reason we came up with this idea was we didn't want to just pinpoint one location that belonged to one or two individuals and then it just be for their gain or their benefit. Yes, it would improve Loretto, but we didn't want it to be just one person gaining more from it than the whole city. And we thought the whole city and the whole community would gain if we did something like that.
And we've got to have a reason for people to come into downtown Loretto. We've got to have people coming in. And no matter what we have it a party space, artist space, whatever we have, we've got to get people in downtown Loretto, or we're going to lose our business. I mean, we're struggling. And, I'm so hopeful for the new hardware store and a lot of other things, people joining us. And, we've got to have some pioneers here and some people with some ideas to put something else, more viable in to get reasons for people to come down. Vicki has done a lot of visiting of other little communities that have shops and things, that are, that people come in and want to see. So, Malcolm, you have anything you want to add, or Cindy?
Well, Vicki has drawn up a plan of a possibility. It's not, this is what we want, it's
No.
gotta be this or nothing else. But it was even the idea that if the space could be taken and broken up into smaller sections, that even could be leased. There's a lot of people that would like to try a business, but there's limited buildings available downtown. There's also a huge cost if you buy one and totally redoing it, and they may not need that much space, but what if they rented a smaller space that would benefit you guys in the long run? You get the revenue from that, but they didn't have to have the cash outlay.
Like a business incubator.
So we could have
Exactly.
stalls, maybe,
And
rent space
you could
out.
even have, that space is big enough in the way it's laid out with that central wall. You could have probably temporary spaces, but you could also have some permanent spaces on the side that was the office and the jail cell and all
yeah.
that. So you could, there's a possibility that you could do temporary plus permanent if you wanted to.
What's it called in Franklin, the factory?
The factory.
Yeah, the factory. And
Something
that,
like
yeah, on a smaller scale, but then if you guys ever got a different shop building, then there's the possibility, if this all worked, to expand to the other parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Other cities have things like
that's something I'm
this.
not making a secret. That is something we would like to look at one day, is making that shop building an event venue just because of the architecture of the shop
But even if the
building.
grant money was not enough with what it provided and what the city would match, we felt like this was something that could be done in stages, so that it didn't necessarily have to be an all or nothing thing. As long as the outside structure was sound and the roof, the inside could be developed as the money was available. And Teresa said that, there would be other grants down the road. If you got one, that didn't mean that you wouldn't be eligible for another one. You could be. Might be smaller,
I'm just speaking about myself. I like the idea.
But that's what we wanted to know,
My
is
question
this
would be,
worthy of
what
us
are the-
proceeding?
Are there any restrictions, whether it be public owned or city owned property, as far as for
We
the
would like
using
to
the
be
grant money?
city.
No, I'm talking about for the grant money.
Oh, we were
Like some grant money is earmarked only for public or private use, and I didn't know what this was.
I think this is,
Her
You can look
guidelines
it up.
was
It's
just that it was in a
downtown.
downtown area that we defined what that area was.
it's some way that we're looking to bring economy in and, restoration and preservation into our,
We got the
town.
downtown area defined as.
It's that 2-block section.
Main Street, Commerce, Second Avenue,
It's actually- Yeah, it's actually a 3-block.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
But that would have been our old business district anyway. That would have been what was originally called the business district of Loretto.
The main road run right through the middle of it years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to start any rumors that this is what, like, Vicki said, we're just racking our brains.
Yeah.
And
No,
that's why
I-
I wanted to bring it to you to see, and we were hoping the city would, and maybe other private partners would partner with us as we develop, or if you've got another idea that's better, tell us about it.
But we have to identify something.
Something.
Right.
What's the deadline on it?
Next April.
Next April.
Okay.
See, I got this group together with about 2 weeks to spare last year. It's due every 2 years, and it just wasn't
We want to
enough
kind of knock
time.
some stuff out this summer while we're, can, and then let people read it for us. People in the Chamber of Commerce have offered to help us and read, and I know Teresa would, and so we want to make sure that we've got, the blessing of the city as certainly as
I
we
think
go
first, before we
forward.
go too far with that building, probably need to get someone to look at it, make sure it is still a viable space, structurally sound.
Yeah, we need to make sure, see what it's gonna cost, because I know right now it takes water on the north side into the office.
It's got roof issues. that
Yeah.
Need to be fixed.
But that might not be nothing big, so
But
we
is
just.
that not something that would need to be done if y'all are gonna continue to use that whole building
If you're gonna
anyway?
use that building, it needs to be fixed.
Like right now it's being used as storage, so
Or it ain't in storage right now, it's just sitting there.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Well, how do we proceed with having the building checked, or?
We'll get somebody to check it.
All right. And we usually meet toward the end of the month. You can get in touch with any of us, let us know, or, you know, if you've got another idea you want us to pursue. And we're just trying to find something. And I've seen buildings like that in, like downtown, or Atlanta has the old trolley barn. It basically is in a lot rougher shape than that building is, and they have wedding receptions there. And, you know, there's another place in downtown Decatur, Georgia, that's got a coffee shop in it, a little art gallery, I think a place that sells pastries. I mean, you know, we've got lots of possibilities, and I think Vicky's got great vision, and Cindy's got great vision, and even Malcolm has got some vision, so, you know, we're trying to have some good vision. One vision, okay.
One vision, I forgot what it was. She talked too long. Now, fellas, I suggested the other night that we bring this before you, and it's not something you have to tell us today, but just to muddy the waters a little bit, give you something to think about. And the other thing is, if we were to do this and it was a failure, we still haven't lost anything. And then you might want to sell this and move City Hall back down there, and then we'd all be together again.
We'll try that.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. We'll definitely be in touch. Okay. Any other comments from anybody?
We wanted to plant some trees. But I'm not going to tell you where I wanted to plant them.
Well, I told them where you wanted to plant yours.
Okay, we'll move on to the business. Approve a donation of a 1971 fire truck to the city of Elkton. Keith, you want to explain?
Of course, we got the grant, and I've talked with Barry and the city of Elkton. Of course, they've got the truck right now, but they're, it's the 71, the one we had out back over here. It's not in use to us. You know, we got the grant, and Barry had asked before if one of the small communities he represents needed a truck, and they're excited about it, and will be able to use it instead of this something else.
We'd already took it out of service because it had a brake issue and it had a lot of mechanical issues, and it was just dangerous without a lot of dollars spent on it for repair, and there was no need for us.
We can donate the fire truck to the city of Elkton and get a new fire truck out of the whole deal. I make a motion, we donate the truck to the city of Elkton.
Okay, I'll second. Any further discussion?
Mayor Turner,
Aye.
Alderman McMasters,
Aye.
Alderman Busby.
Aye.
Okay, next item is approval on first reading ordinance number 512017, budget amendment for the general fund in the amount of $35,000. I believe this is for the Park and Rec.
Some of the extra we did on the pool, of course, it came out of this year's budget, part of the grant money. Some extra concrete, some changes we made, so that's, and then we built a gates going into the park. We got that part, we still there on the general, but we just need to approve this amendment to get over the rest of the budget year.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 512017, budget amendment.
I'll second.
Mayor Turner,
Aye.
Alderman McMasters,
Aye.
Alderman Busby.
Aye.
And speaking of the pool, if you haven't been by, y'all need to look at that pervious concrete over there. It does look like a Rice Krispie treat. I went and got me a box of Rice Krispies and some marshmallows the other day after I looked at it. All right. Next item, just getting ready for our budget for the next fiscal year, 17-18. Ask Keith just to do a budget review for us, and then we'll meet in a work session sometime later this month and get a little more in depth.
Review is where we're at right now in this year's budget, to kind of give us an idea of when we start I'll just give you a copy of the budget we're in. I'm in the general fund, and it's, we budgeted our property tax at 65. We're at 63 right now in April, so we should hit that. We'll have a few more. In lieu of taxes, we're at 14. We've got one more from TVA and Lawrenceburg Utilities, and we should hit that right at within 500. Interest is going to be close. We're at 300. We're about 5 is what we budget. Local option sales tax. In the month of April, if anybody deals in the business, the state of Tennessee changed how you apply for sales tax. Ours was down about $11,000 or $12,000 because they give everybody to the end of the month instead of the 20th to file. But I've also noted we're going to gain about what we normally did last year at that time. And if we take in the month of May and June, we may be about $3,000 to $4,000, $5,000 short what we budgeted on sales tax. You know, we were kind of in the guessing game because we lost Walmart. Wasn't really sure how much we would lose, but it's going to be close. I didn't think that would be too bad. But now the state sales tax looks like it's going to be up. We budgeted 133. It's probably going to be about 135, 136 next year. I just got in today. Our share of taxes for next year from the state looks like our sales tax probably be about 137, 138 for next year. Beer tax, it's going to run very close, probably around 75 to 78. Business tax, right now we're at 11, but in this month when we get our check is the biggest. This one, next 2 months are our biggest draws from the state on business tax, and we should hit the 30. Cable franchise is going to be up a little bit. It'll probably be about 62 or 63 instead of 6. Our state income tax we got in this year, we budgeted 10, we got 20. Now this is one thing that's going to phase out over the next 4 years. That's hall income tax. We'll completely lose that after 4 years.
Didn't they expedite it with the gas tax?
No, I think it's still in the phase out, and I'm not sure it could be. Streets, transportation, we get about $3,500 a year. Of course, we put that toward our street lights. And we've got pool charges at $30,000. You know, we didn't get to open last year as we did early, so that's probably not going to hardly hit. It may get a little bit closer, we think. We're about 7,500 right now. Auditorium charges going to be about 5,000. On city court fines and costs, we budgeted 25,000, and through the month of April, we're at 32,627. So we got a big increase. So we should finish over 35 easily on fines and costs. Interest earnings, of course, y'all know what interest is, so it's not much. Our transfers, which they will be, other revenue, looks like the liquor tax may be up a little bit. We're at 18,391, got 2 more months to go. Sports complex concessions probably going to go over 30. We're about 27 through April. So, and then in July we've got 2 state tournaments coming in, so that'll make a difference with that. Also, we've took in about $1,500 on the adult exercise classes. Of course, the grant for Mitch's, which is figured in there, we took in about $17,500 this year. We've got 2 quarters to go. It's 2.5 quarters. And then we got a $5,000 donation from the Lions Club to work on the walking trails. And expenses are running pretty close. Only thing, like we did the budget amendment on the Parks and Recreation is what's going to run over. Everything else looks to be pretty much in line in what we, in general fund, what we budgeted. You know, unless something happens a couple of next 2 months, we should be in pretty good shape on what we budgeted on those. So right now with, with extra in the pool and the work we did to park, which was about 32 or 33,000, which was out of reserves, but we'll gain some of that back in the next 2 months, should. So,
I just asked the department heads, be thinking of anything, any requests for your next fiscal year as we begin working on our budget. Is there anything else anybody has? Any other business?
The slide situation at the pool, we had any
expecting to get a
notifications?
contract any day for them, because we sent approval. We sent our revised budget back, they approved it, and I just say any day, and we'll sign it.
And then we can bid it.
We can bid it, we'll send it back in. We'll send it back in, they said we return it in a week's time, I told them definitely, so. And we also, in this next year's budget, we'll have the match on the fire truck, even though the grant was in this budget, that won't come out till what? October, November?
Probably October,
Any other business that need to come before the board?
We do need to try to set a work day, but we can kind of line that out, we can line that out and email back and forth and decide and then publish it a work session.
Let's do that, I don't know what my
Right.
thing's gonna be. Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Mayor Turner,
Aye.
Alderman McMasters,
Aye.
Alderman Busby,
Aye.